Hey guys, Shane here for the guitarmentor.com. Now what I want to talk to you about today is picks, or plectrums as they're also known as, guitar picks. So I've got a whole array of colors and sizes and thicknesses here that I want to talk to you about, the differences between them and what the pros and cons are, I guess. Alright, so we'll start off with this very thin white one here. If you can see that on the camera, I'll try and get it a bit closer. As you can see, it's pretty thin and very flexible. That's about 1/2 mil, which probably doesn't mean too much, but let's just say it's very flexible. What you want to do with that is play a type of flamenco style rhythm pattern, something very flicky, something with a lot of movement in it, you probably don't understand what that means yet, but you will when we do a few demonstrations. Another size we've got here, if you have a look at that one, that's 1.5 thick, so you can see not much flex in that at all. Probably flexes a little bit, but not much. What you're looking at with that is probably rock, maybe some hard, heavy rhythms, and also with your lead playing and things like that as well, so not much flex in between when you're playing notes. And to the granddaddy over here, there's probably thicker ones than this, but this is the thickest one that I've used, is a 2 mil pick. And this is probably the one that I use the most. It's used a lot in heavy metal, fast lead playing, where you don't want any flex between your notes, and yeah, a lot of alternate picking, which means up and down, up and down, up and down. So and also a lot of heavy rhythm playing as well. You won't get any flex with that. In fact, if you try and bend that, you'd probably crack it. So as you can see, it's pretty thick. So that's the main differences between those. There's a whole lot of other thicknesses in between those sizes I showed you, and also thicker than that as well, but not much thicker than that. So there you go. We'll play some rhythm patterns with these, and you'll no doubt know a little bit more about what kind of sounds you'll be chasing with these. Okay, so how do you properly hold a pick is one question we need to really answer, because there's many different ways to hold a pick, and as many players as there are, there's probably different techniques as well of how they hold a pick. For instance, if you see Eddie Van Halen, he holds it between his thumb and his second finger, something like that. But the reason he does that is because he uses his first finger when he's hammering on. Now most of us probably don't play that way, and I hammer on a little bit, but the most popular way is just between your thumb and your index finger. Now many players hold it like this. So basically make a fist, and where your thumb comes down onto your index finger there, that is where you would place your pick, just there, like so. Hopefully you can see that properly. And about that much of the pick would be showing out of your finger. Now, for me, I've always found that pretty uncomfortable. So what I do is, and with this pick it's quite good because you've got an area here where your thumb or your index finger sits in quite comfortably. And so my thumb just goes in that space there, and I hold it like this, like you would making that kind of sign. So for me that's comfortable, and that's what I do because I find I can flex pretty quickly like that between the fingers and the thumb, like that, or if I'm using my wrist, and if I really need to dig in, I might sometimes, you know, hold it like that, but hardly ever, to be honest. Usually that's more comfortable for me. I use my other three fingers sometimes to rest on the guitar itself, and then play it like that. I'll show you on the guitar what that looks like. Okay, so on the guitar, this is me holding the pick as I would normally. Sometimes I've got my fingers resting on the guitar itself to strum like this. So there you go. Not everyone plays it like this. You've got to really find what's comfortable for you, but start off with the pick in between your thumb and your index finger, and you don't want much of it showing. You only need just a little bit, just really the tip, and that's going to be the best way to start off. If you want to, you can crouch your hand in like that. But for me, I need to be free. I need to be able to flick my hand around like this if I want to. I find it too restrictive like this, but there's a lot of other players that would disagree with that. So you've really got to find your comfort spot. Start off with the index finger and the thumb, and then see where your other three fingers naturally want to go. They might want to rest on the guitar, you know, like that, or they may want to crouch in behind like that, you know. So just experiment with that, but as long as you've got a little bit of the pick showing through here, and your fingers are out of the way, that's the way to do it. Okay, so there's not much to it. Just experiment with that and see what's comfortable for you. But the pick should always be at a right angle to your thumb, as you can see there, where the thumb and the pick are. It's sitting at approximately 90 degrees to the thumb. So that's what you want to be doing, because your thumb's going to be sitting alongside the strings this way, and the pick's going to go up and down, obviously. Now, another thing with your picking technique, when you're strumming downwards, you want this to be facing upwards a little bit. So if you're going a downstroke, it's that way. So it's just facing upwards a little bit. This is exaggerated a little bit, but as you can see, it's facing upwards, because obviously if you're going to face it downwards, you're going to have this restriction here. So you want to just glide along the strings like that. In the same way, when you're doing an upstroke, it's the opposite way. It has to be facing towards your feet, just slightly. So downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. And that's basically it.